Next on News Channel 3 at 6, watch a toxic, fiery mess explode.
We had acids burning, we had we had wood, we had everything in the area.
Tonight, team coverage of what touched off a dangerous blast and shut down much of Santa Paula. It even had hospital workers scrambling for help. News Channel 3 at 6 starts right now.
Live, up and down the coast, from the beaches to the valleys. At 6, this is KEYT News Channel 3, where the news comes first.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Beth Farnsworth.
And I'm CJ Ward. Our top story at 6, live team coverage of that toxic vacuum truck explosion in Santa Paula. It happened about 3:45 this morning on the 800 block of Mission Rock Road.
News Channel 3's Tracy Lair is covering the health problems created by that blast. But first, Kelsey Gerkins is live with the very latest on the explosion and its aftermath. Kelsey?
Beth and CJ, thankfully, because of favorable weather conditions, they have reduced the mandatory evacuation area from 1 mile to a half mile. But they're asking anyone in the area to keep their windows and doors shut so that they don't inhale that toxic smoke. And this all started early this morning in the back of a vacuum truck at the Santa Clara wastewater facility. When the truck exploded, more than 1,000 gallons of an extremely flammable substance were spilled. There were 2 men in the truck at the time. They both had minor injuries. When firefighters arrived on scene, they realized how dangerous this hazardous material they were dealing with was.
We have about a 300 or 400 foot radius of what we're calling a organic peroxide. Now, this is very unstable and explosive and spontaneously combusts when it dries, when it crystallizes.
As this liquid began to dry out, when they stepped on it, it actually ignited under their feet.
The substance was so flammable and toxic that officials evacuated the area, which included shutting down Highway 126 in both directions from Wells Road to Peck. This created a traffic nightmare for commuters. The highway reopened just after 1 this afternoon, and at this time they have no one in there. They're just letting the fire burn itself out because they don't want anyone to come into contact with that substance, if at all possible. Reporting live in Santa Paula, Kelsey Gerkins, News Channel 3.
And again, that explosion triggered that evacuation for everyone within a mile of the blast. As Kelsey said, that's been reduced to a half mile.
And take a look at this map. The smaller green circle represents the evacuation area. Everyone within the larger green circle, that's 2 to 3 miles from the blast site, were told to shelter in place because of the health threats posed by those toxic chemicals. Now, News Channel 3 reporter Tracy Lair is live in Santa Paula with that part of the story. Tracy.
I am in Santa Paula, just on the other side of the 126 where this all happened, and 43 people were treated at Ventura County Medical Center, just one town away in Ventura. One of those people was in the initial explosion. He is now in stable condition, and most of these wounds they were treated were respiratory problems and also contact burns. They were decontaminated in tents that had already been set up in case there might have been an Ebola patient in the county. So they were prepared for this. They also put 12 people that worked for the hospital in those decontamination showers just to make sure they're okay. And they're set up in case anyone else falls ill tonight.
Most of the symptoms that we're seeing today are basically upper respiratory, burning in the eyes, burning in what the people are describing as kind of like a heartburn feeling, and also some came in with some skin irritation as well.
Now, one other person did drive himself to St. John's in Oxnard to be treated there, and we're told that one dog was rescued out of Carl. It was a dog named Brandy, a pit bull, and taken to a veterinary medical clinic in Ventura for some kind of a respiratory issue as well. But the other dogs are being kept at that shelter. And also, we're learning a little bit more about this company. It was known as Santa Clara Wastewater, and then it changed its name to Southern California Wastewater, and it deals with liquid waste from generators and oil companies. But they're trying to figure out exactly, what they were doing with those chemicals that ended up being organic peroxide, and also they found sulfuric acid out there too. And they're trying to figure out what went wrong, and it's now becoming a district attorney investigation. Reporting live in Santa Paula, Tracy, Channel 3.
Okay, thank you for that update, Tracy. The Red Cross has opened an evacuation shelter at the Santa Paula Community Center that's located at 530 West Main Street. Volunteers are providing food and health services to all evacuees. The evacuation center will become an overnight shelter if it's needed. And for more information on the Red Cross services and the explosion itself, visit KEYT.com.
Updating a story we first brought you on News Channel 3 at 5. A suspicious package situation involving the Santa Barbara Police Department is over, but under investigation. Narcotics detectives say they received the package in the mail about 11 o'clock this morning. When it was opened, one detective found what looked like a dangerous material inside. The annex building behind the main police department on Anapamu was evacuated as a precaution.
There are a number of possibilities. This could be the work of someone who is mentally ill, or it could have been the criminal act of someone who was trying to disrupt operations here at the police department, or perhaps terrorize one of our employees.
Police say the package was mailed from out of town. The fire department had nearby residents shelter in place. 6 hours later, they gave the all clear.
Many small lakes are simply drying up with the lack of rainfall we've had, but Goleta city officials are fighting back. News Channel 3 senior reporter John Palmentary joins us live. And John, they plan to help one lake survive.
Well, Goleta is certainly not going to be waiting for rain as it plans to inject water into Lake Los Carneros, so the very popular site with residents, birds, and wildlife can keep from drying up.
It's just sad to see how much it's gone down.
Lake Los Carneros in Goleta has become yet another victim of the drought. Longtime residents can't believe how much it's receded.
You can see where it's all just dry there, and that all used to be water. All of that was water.
The lake, which is fed by an underground water source and rain runoff, is getting no help during the drought. Filled to the brim a few years ago, it's now only 7 feet deep. To get to the birds, you have to hike on the dry sections of the lake.
We love watching the birds. The seagulls will actually throw bread out to them and they'll catch it in flight. That's really exciting. And of course, all the ducks will come up and the coots and other birds.
Goleta city officials are not going to let the lake dry up or become a pond of smelly muck. They plan to inject fresh water to help the fish and nearby wildlife survive, and then hope for help from the sky.
The idea is that we would maybe put 500,000 gallons in and recheck our temperatures and the water conditions and make sure that what we're doing is working. It's so low at this point that just adding oxygen isn't really helping. And it's so low and so warm all the way through that when the wind blows, it's stirring it all around. So we're not even getting the fine stuff to settle out and stay at the bottom anymore.
The city hopes with a drink of fresh water and some good winter storms, the lake levels here will rise significantly and the entire area will be rejuvenated once again. They also hope to cut down some of the vegetation and do all they can to improve the lake's health now while they have the chance.
This is a great opportunity in the middle of sort of a calamity to get something done.
Despite the low lake level, the site is still very popular with hikers, birds, and an array of wildlife. And the city is not going to be putting all that water in at once. It's going to put it in small quantities and check the temperatures, make sure everything's working out well with the ecosystem. But what I'd really rather have is a couple of good winter storms. In Santa Barbara, John Palmentary, News Channel 3.
We may actually see some rain in areas up and down the coast later this week. Let's turn things over to News Channel 3 Chief Meteorologist Alan Rose. Alan?
Hi, Beth, and always excited over the prospect of any rain, although these next few storms look to be pretty weak in nature. Right now, temperatures-wise, we're pretty cool out there in comparison to last night, dipping down into the 50s already for Ojai. Most everyone else is in the 60s. And look at all the cloud cover that continues to stream in out of the west and southwest. This is in advance of our first weather system, which tonight is starting to spread some rain out there across northern parts of the Bay Area. I think later tonight, as we head towards maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, we could see a few showers popping up in San Luis Obispo County. But to the south, Santa Barbara County, not expecting much in the way of wet weather tonight. We'll call it mostly cloudy with just some light winds out there and generally dry conditions overnight tonight. Temps down into the upper 40s around Sandy Ynez and Lompoc, 55 for Santa Barbara and 52 in Santa Maria. But as we mentioned, few storms are on the horizon. We'll talk about the parade of storms and let you know who has the best chance of seeing the rain and how much could be ahead in your neighborhood. For now, back to you.
I just like hearing Parade of Storms. All right, thanks, Alan. Well, now to the tale of a very large lobster. It was caught just off our coast. Take a look at this. The crustacean weighed nearly 12 pounds. The fisherman stumbled upon the lobster that he named Albert near the Channel Islands in the middle of the night. The fisherman took the lobster home for dinner, but had a change of heart.
There was just no way I could kill it for a one-time meal. I rushed him down to their sea center where they, just marveled at the size of him and quickly accepted him and put him into one of their tanks.
What a good guy. Officials at the Sea Center estimate the lobster is about 70 years old and now will grow even older. After a few weeks of living at the Sea Center, Galante picked up the lobster and brought him home to a marine sanctuary in the Channel Islands, where Albert could live to be 100 years old.
Wow, Albert's a big boy, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Great story. Well, a Grinch is trying to steal your identity this holiday season. Find out how to protect yourself coming up.
Plus, local low-income families now have a place to call home. Details on today's Habitat for Humanity ceremony. That's coming up on News Channel 3.
News Channel 3, Thursday. The National Disaster Search Dog Foundation and the Seabees out of Naval Base Ventura County working together to build this crucial training facility in Ventura County. Seabees get training for projects they'll eventually be assigned to across the globe. Search Dog Foundation will be left with Search City, a state-of-the-art rescue training compound that will help save lives here and around the world. Victoria Sanchez shows you the incredible project. Thursday, only on News Channel 3 at 6 and 11.
December 11th, Shumash Casino Resort. Special guest, Alexander Cardinale. Get your tickets now at Club Shumash and ShumashCasino.com.
Tell me more about the Charter Spectrum Triple Play.
You mean the best TV, internet, and voice?
Charter Spectrum Triple Play.
TV.
200 free in Sweet HD, 10,000 on demand. Instantly. I'm not just the operator. Dish to dish, I'm your liberator.
Charter Spectrum TV, just $29.99. Call 1-844-552-999. Charter Spectrum high speed means no slow down. 60 megs, I like the way that sounds.
Say goodbye to DSL. Say hello to fast as.
Charter Spectrum Internet, just $29.99. Call
1-844-552-999. Charter Spectrum Voice Unlimited Talk.
Zero fees and features that rock.
Crystal clear connection, say hi.
Charter Raiders, standing by. Charter Spectrum Voice, just $29.99. Call
1-844-552-999.
Yeah.
1-844-552-999.
You get it. If you're gonna brave Black Friday crowds, you want to get something worth getting. That's why you get Central Coast Honda's 14 days of Black Friday, 2 weeks of the year's best deals.
Seriously?
Like 0.9% financing on Civic and Accord, or jaw-dropping leases on CRV and Pilot. From the car company named Kelley Blue Book's best overall brand. Yeah, you get it. 14 days of Black Friday.
That's a lot of Black Friday, man.
Ends November 30th at your Central Coast Honda dealer.
Shumash Casino Resort proudly presents the Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker, live on stage Thursday, December 18th at 7 p.m. Don't miss the Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker, only at Shumash Casino Resort.
News Channel 3 brought to you by Branch Out Tree Care.
Beware of Grinches stealing your identity this holiday season. It's led to many shoppers thinking about whether to use their credit cards or their cash. Corey James spoke with shoppers today about how they're going to spend their money.
Black Friday is just around the corner.
I use my credit cards for the most part. At least it has better fraud protection.
How are you going to spend your money? Cash, credit cards?
Debit.
Spending money. How are you planning on doing it this year?
Debit card.
These two ladies doing some early shopping aren't worried about security breaches. They say it's because they know their banks will protect them.
They can see it, they can detect it, and it stops it a lot quicker versus if it just let it drag out.
They haven't had any breaches, so it's easier for me than using cash. You have to pull it out of your account.
Warren Harthorne says he too hasn't been a victim of a security breach, but knows someone who has.
I had a buddy that a week ago got his stuff hacked. So I'm a little bit more apprehensive this year about using the cards.
The National Retail Federation expects sales this holiday season to increase to $616 billion. Online shopping will grow as much as $105 billion. And one expert says the key to making sure you're buying from a safe site is by looking at the URL.
It's typically a symbol that will appear HTTP, and if there's an S, that indicates a secure website.
Janet Severo is the president and chief operating officer at Community Bank of Santa Maria. She says when it comes to spending cash or using a debit card, the answer is simple.
Generally speaking, the credit card or the debit card is safer because if you lose the debit card, somebody has to know your PIN number or not be asked for proper identification, and the consumer is protected.
Habitat for Humanity held a dedication ceremony today for its newest development. It's located at 822 East Cannon Perdido Street. Habitat for Humanity built 12 townhomes that provide affordable homeownership opportunities for low-income families. 44 people, including 22 children, will move into these homes soon, including the Linton family.
We're so thankful for Habitat for Humanity and all the people that volunteered and put time and money and labor into these units, and we're just really humbled by the opportunity to be able to live in one.
It's Habitat for Humanity's third and largest affordable housing development in Santa Barbara. A private membership airline is adding Santa Barbara to its list of destinations.
Find out how you can fly on this growing service coming up.
And it was another warm day out there up and down the coast, but tonight the clouds are continuing to thicken up and rain could be a factor in the forecast in some areas tomorrow. We'll have the full forecast when we come back.
Tonight, the only thing more shocking than the motive,
Killing someone for a song.
is the jaw-dropping truth.
You and I about to rewrite history. We have one chance.
Forever. All new tonight at 10/9 Central on ABC.
Because it's out there. We are here. Mountain Air Sports, helping you to meet the challenge.
Hey, pal. Remember how happy you were getting us as a holiday gift? All our wild adventures, going from one end of the living room all the way to the other? We'll feel that happy again with a new Honda Civic during Happy Honda Days. It comes with Pandora compatibility, a rear view camera, and this mysterious cave. Wow. Get something you'll love at the Happy Honda Days sales event, where all 2015 models come standard with a rear view camera.
They are a glowing example of what it means to be the best. And at this special time of year, they shine even brighter. Come to the winter event and get the Mercedes-Benz you've always wished for, now for an exceptional price. Lease the 2015 ML350 for $579 a month at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer.
Last car was a bucket. I'd park really far away and make sure no one saw me. It was time to put it to bed and get a new one. Driving off with a brand new Ford Fiesta. I loved it. It was very sporty-licious. It's smooth, it's very slick, it's good on gas. The touchscreen, hands-free phone, ambient lighting. I'm proud to say it is my car, which I have never said before, so this is a first. My Ford Fiesta, partner in crime right here. Dang, look at you.
For my auto, life, and commercial insurance needs, I call Canton Insurance. Canton Insurance shopped over 100 companies to find me the best rates. Canton's local agents transferred my title and I left their office with instant California vehicle registration. Best of all, there were no lines and no hassle. Thanks to Canton Insurance, my new life insurance policy gives my family the support they will need. Canton cares. For the right coverage at the right price, call Canton Insurance today.
News Channel 3 brought to you by Kirby Subaru. Visit now during the grand opening at the Ventura Auto Center.
Time time for weather with Alan Rose.
We're so glad we live here talking about that huge storm.
Right, yeah, lake effect snow piling up across parts of New York State, Pennsylvania as well.
Yeah.
And we were just sharing stories. CJ remembering the blizzard of, what, 77?
77. And that's why we're here in California.
Yes.
Because we weren't going to go through that again. So my dad said, family meeting, we're moving to California.
And pack up the van.
Pack it up and
let's
we're
go. Even the poodle, right?
Even the poodle came with us.
You can't share that. You can't share
That's
that
a good
story, though.
I think you should share that on Twitter.
Someday.
Let's switch to the forecast and talk about what's happening here. Today in Santa Barbara, 76 degrees. Pretty similar to what we saw yesterday. Some spots were up a degree or two. Some were down a degree or two. So temperature difference is really negligible on this Tuesday. But tonight we're beginning to cool down a little more rapidly. We have an increase in clouds already out there. And we are tracking the first storm in a series of maybe 2 or 3 that'll impact the area over the next 4 to 5 days. Tonight, the winds are relatively calm, but they're mostly on shore out there, out of the south and west for Goleta and Santa Barbara, but light. Under 10 miles per hour. You can see all the cloud cover moving in from the west tonight. Let me back it up a step. You can see what's happening off the coastline. This is the leading edge of the cold front, and it's just light rain. This is not going to be a high impact storm whatsoever. Only talking about 1/10 of an inch or less, and that would be across San Luis Obispo County. But speaking of the lake effect snow, the machine is cranked up in high gear. You get the winds that are blowing over the lake, and if you're on the downside of those winds, you just get a constant onslaught of snow. Some areas out towards Buffalo, Rochester, that part of the New York State area, have already seen between 3 to 5 feet of snow, and another 2 to 4 feet could fall within the next 48 hours. Notice how the snow bands continue to fall over the same areas, and the darker the blue, the heavier the snow. Some of these locations seeing as much as 4 to 6 inches of snow in just an hour time. And the forecast again calls for more snow in that area all the way through the end of the week. For us, here's storm number 1. Storm number 2 is going to follow on its heels as we head towards Thursday night and Friday. And then there's a third storm that could bring a few rain showers to our area as we head towards Saturday. Here's the futurecast. Here's the leading edge of the cold front. And tomorrow morning, you'll see a few hit or miss showers. Again, it's going to be very light in nature across the area. The models had backed off a little bit from what we showed you yesterday. And in terms of rainfall totals, not going to see much, maybe a few 1/100ths of an inch out there in San Luis Obispo County. This is actually an updated model, and it completely backed off from what I had shown at 5 o'clock. Probably do a little more flip-flopping throughout the evening, but we'll show it to you again tonight at 11. So cooler temps, more clouds. I'm going to keep the south coast dry for now. The farther north you go, the better the chance. But even into San Luis Obispo County, only talking about a 30% chance for rain. Ventura County expecting a dry but cooler day with highs back to near seasonal averages. First chance for rain in Santa Barbara, I think, moves in Thursday night. Another slight chance out there early Saturday. Santa Maria, the bigger impacts here, other than a few hit or miss showers, going to be the cooler temperatures. In fact, most of us will be back down to near or a little bit below average as we wrap up the week and head into the weekend. And then next week, we warm things up again with no real high impact storm on the way. And when I mean high impact storm, I mean something like what we saw on Halloween. I mean, these storms may wet the ground or wet the surfaces, but not going to deliver much in terms of drought busting rains.
Oh, darn. Okay, thank you. A new app called Yik Yak can track down a user. However, it comes with a twist. While details ahead on the new college craze. Then Santa Barbara City leaders are sleeping a little bit better tonight thanks to new numbers involving the city's hotel bed tax. We'll explain.
And then coming up later on in sports, NFL running back Adrian Peterson learns whether he can return to the playing field this year. All that and more coming up on News Channel 3.
The First Alert Weather Team.
I have covered the extremes from across the country, from wildfires to droughts, from tropical storms to tornadoes. So having all that experience and being part of the largest local weather team, I feel like we can make a difference in the lives of people in our community, and they know who to turn to when they need us most.
Meteorologist Meredith Garfalo, part of the Power of Three, the largest weather team on local television. News Channel 3 is First Alert Weather.
It's a great time to drop into Nissan for Holiday Bonus Cash. The most exciting event of the season is going on now.
Get up to $1,500 holiday bonus cash on select models. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
Make a healthy adjustment to the way you sleep and power up at the place for the Power Base Mattressland Sleep Fit, where you can add a power base for better sleep and greater convenience to any premium mattress set for only $498, and save up to 68% off on America's best mattress brands during the Power Up Mattress Sale. Right now, get BedFit to a Sealy Posturepedic Queen set for an amazing $388. Power up at the place for the power base and save up to 68% off now during the Mattressland Sleep Fit Power Up Mattress Sale.
Black clouds are behind me. I now can see ahead. Often I wonder why I tried.
Turn your car into cash at Check Into Cash.
Turn your car into cash at Check Into Cash.
It's your money. Get it now. We make it quick, easy, and confidential.
Call now or visit checkintocash.com for the Check Into Cash location near you.
Turn your car into cash at Check Into Cash.
Find out what your car's worth.
Go to checkintocash.com and enter your name, make, and model.
Call now or visit checkintocash.com for the Check Into Cash location near you.
It's a great time to drop into Nissan for holiday bonus cash. The most exciting event of the season is going on now.
Get up to $1,500 holiday bonus cash on select models. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
The country's first all-you-can-fly private membership airline has expanded service in Santa Barbara. Starting today, Surf Air is making round-trip daily flights from Carlsbad to San Francisco and Santa Barbara. Surf Air members pay a $500 initiation fee. Then they're charged $1,750 a month for unlimited flights. The company plans to add flights to the Los Angeles area and Lake Tahoe in the near future.
Income from Santa Barbara's hotel bed tax shot up almost 26% compared to last year. Lodging businesses collected more than $1.5 million in transient occupancy tax last month compared to October of last year. Now, city officials attribute the increase to the number of rooms available this year. Many of those same rooms were unavailable in 2013.
2 schools in Manhattan Beach closed today after violent threats on social media. It was through an anonymous app called Yik Yak, and students on the Central Coast are reacting to this incident. Natalie Tavidian is live in Santa Maria with reaction from those students she spoke to. Natalie?
Well, the app is pretty popular among college students. We downloaded the app and talked to some community college students here in Santa Maria today, and many of them actually told us that it's a distraction that they'll stay away from. Some are calling it harmless and fun.
They're pretty general stuff that everybody thinks about.
It's gaining popularity among many college students.
A photo of a friend of mine. She goes on Yik Yak. She says every time she's looking at her phone, that's the reason why she's smiling.
Yik Yak is an anonymous messaging app that allows people to post and view those posts within a 10-mile radius.
Well, they just kind of make it sound kind of entertaining and funny.
But taking a look at it for the first time today, Ashley Dayer of Santa Maria says she's offended.
There's a lot of, I guess, sexual things on here. Inappropriate, yeah. Kind of demeaning words.
The day after Halloween, the top one.
Earlier this month, students at the Cal Poly campus got word of an alleged sexual assault that happened near their school. They first heard about it through the app.
They have a right to voice their opinions.
Students say comments got nasty.
Most rumors I've heard have been on Yik Yak. It's a lot of hate on the frat. There were also a lot of students saying, we support you, talking directly to the girl.
Even though the posts are all anonymous, Yik Yak says on its website it does take threats seriously. They may release user information without a court order if they believe it's necessary to prevent harm.
I don't think I'll ever use it or even install it, but I'd rather have a name.
Here's something else we learned from its website. Some schools, like middle schools, elementary schools, or high schools, could actually submit what Yik Yak calls a geofence request. That uses GPS to prohibit people from using the app in that school's radius. Live in Santa Maria, Natalie Tavidia, News Channel 3.
Boy, one more thing to keep up with. Snapchat and Vine, and now Yik Yak.
Another app.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Natalie. Stay with us. We'll be right back.